Today's webinar is entitled How to Use LinkedIn in 15 Minutes Per Day. Our presenter is Brenda M. Cunningham, CEO of Push Career Management. Brenda is a 2001 alumna of RIT and a certified professional resume writer, certified job search strategist, a credentialed career manager, and a recognized expert in the field of career services. Her company provides career portfolios, career coaching, and outplacement services to major corporate brands, including Gold Canyon International and Nammo, Talley, a defense manufacturing company. As an author, she's released 2 books titled Your Resume Is Not Enough, How to Network Your Way Up the Corporate Ladder, and Crush the Pink Slip, Get Back to Work in 60 Days to provide resources to professionals in career transition. Brenda couples her technical background in electrical engineering and project management with her encouraging, tough love approach to serve professionals on their climb up the corporate ladder and back into the workplace. She is the president of the Resume Writers Council of Arizona, and she served on the board of the National Resume Writers Association for 3 years. Brenda loves to build confidence in professionals who won't accept just any job, but are ready to push for their ideal careers. We are thrilled that Brenda is joining us today, clear across the country in Arizona. Thanks for joining us, Brenda, and let's get going.
Of course. Can everybody hear me okay?
I can.
Okay, perfect. Well, good morning or afternoon, wherever you may be in the world. Greetings from Phoenix, Arizona, and the College of Applied Science and Technology. Quick shout for the Electrical Engineering Technology program over there. I would love to share, I'll be planning to share with you some very specific strategies on using LinkedIn today. A lot of times we see individuals not really accessing this tool and not using it to its fullest capability. And so I want to make sure that we as RIT alums have the upper hand, that we have the advantage at our disposal so that we can really use this tool to further either our job transitions or our careers in general. And so here we go. All right, I wanted to start with a little bit of a quote, and it really resonated with me because I would dare to venture that the #1 status of people is, quote unquote, busy. We are busy. Doing is the normal mode of Western society. The culture is one of constant interaction. Information and new ideas flood in from all over the globe, which can be invigorating to your thought life, sparking dreams and plans for the future, but it can also mean taking on too much and ending up with mediocre results or being so overwhelmed that you feel constantly defeated. Now, that was by Dr. Cindy Trim. And why that resonated with me with regards to LinkedIn is we feel like that's just one more thing that we have to do, one more thing that we're supposed to do on social media, and we are not understanding all of its advantages to us as individuals and professionals. And so I want to make sure that we don't view LinkedIn as just another time suck, another busy endeavor, rather something that will actually bring value to you. And I do plan to give you the easy system on what needs to be done on LinkedIn to really manage your career. Now, we have a quick poll that we're going to pull up really quickly. And the first question that I have for you all is how many of you currently have a LinkedIn profile? So for those of you viewing live, go ahead and click either yes or no, I do have a LinkedIn profile, or no, I do not. Let me give you a moment to do that. Okay. So once you've had an opportunity to answer that poll question, my second question is always the fun one. Who's actually doing something with their LinkedIn profile? Who's using their LinkedIn platform to their advantage?
Brenda, hold on one second. The polls are catching up to you.
Okay, I'm moving a little fast. That's okay.
That's okay. All right, the next poll is up.
Okay, so who is using their LinkedIn profile? Who's actually in LinkedIn interacting with people using the tool? Okay. All right. And I'm hoping to see the results somewhere.
They're calculating right now.
Okay,
Brenda.
calculating. So please, if that doesn't show up, please share that with me.
10 seconds, 7, 6.
Okay. Okay. This is important, so we'll wait for it. This is important.
And they're there. You should see them now, right? Yep. There they are.
Perfect. Okay. And so, again, who has a profile? It was a pretty big number. Who's using their profile was a much smaller number. And that's exactly what we expect. A lot of individuals have been told and have bought into the concept of creating a LinkedIn profile, but not so much on the side of actively using it. We're probably using Facebook more than LinkedIn, and we don't understand some of the major benefits of using LinkedIn. And so with that, I'm going to transition over here and give you an idea of what LinkedIn is and why you should absolutely be using it. One phrase that I share with clients and folks that I speak with all of the time is that LinkedIn is no longer optional. If you are a productive member of professional society, LinkedIn is no longer optional for you. And I know that everybody that has graduated from RIT fits that bill. So you all, it is no longer optional. I don't want you to view it anymore as this this thing that maybe I should do if time permits versus making sure it is something that you carve out time for in your day. All right, so yes, LinkedIn is a platform. It's a social media platform. It's a brilliant way to keep in touch. How many times, I mean, even think about back to high school and you got your yearbooks at the end of the school year and everybody wrote in there, keep in touch, keep in touch. And how many actually kept in touch? Very few, if any. And then you think about all those business networking events that you probably attended at some point in your life and career. You collected a whole bunch of business cards, and what you didn't realize was that you were slowly but surely creating this business card graveyard. You didn't know what to do with those business cards. They just sat there in a pile collecting dust, maybe in a rubber band to keep them organized, but you never actually did anything with them. And so LinkedIn has now presented a perfect opportunity for us to keep in touch, to actually do that thing, actually follow up with the people that we're meeting when we're out and about. So it is, again, no longer optional. Let me give you some very top reasons why you need to be there. One, this is probably the biggest reason, is that the recruiters and the hiring managers and decision makers in the companies that you're looking to move into, those people, those players, those industry professionals, they are actively scouting talent using LinkedIn. I would dare to say 99% of all recruiters everywhere are looking for their talent using LinkedIn as a tool. So again, if you're not there, you are missing out. They cannot find you if you are not there and you do not keep yourself top of mind. But another wonderful reason to be there is to build your professional network. And it is no longer okay to just know the people that you work with in your own company. My company, again, is called Push Career Management. I want to help you manage your whole career, not just your job. And so sometimes, as we all know, maybe some know a little bit more closely than others, Jobs are not permanent anymore. There is no more, I've worked at company A for 35 years, I got a gold watch and I retired. There is generally more, you'll see the scenario of I've worked here for maybe 2 or 3 years, they went through some unforeseen business disruption and they had a layoff. And all of a sudden, you need a new job. So what good does it do you to know all of the people that you worked with when they're out of work too? That's a very tough question, but that's something that we need to come to terms with. And it's very important that we get outside of our 4 company walls and start looking at who else are the industry players and what do I need to do to get them to know who I am. And so it's a great opportunity to build your professional network with other people in your industry, other players in related and peripheral industries, okay? But then as well, let's say you're plugging along, doing a brilliant job at work, things are going swimmingly, and then all of a sudden there's an issue that comes up and you've really never dealt with it before. You've never faced something like that before. You really want to quickly move to the solution, and so having access to other kind of industry professionals helps you to really, you can now ask questions of other people who do what you do. You can shave tons of time off of the problem-solving process, off of the of formulating the solution, and you saving yourself tons of time in turn helps to save your company tons of time and money and resources, and makes you look like the hero of the day, all because you leveraged your relationships and you leveraged your connections that you have already built using LinkedIn. So do not discount this tool. And then finally, positioning yourself as an expert. LinkedIn has really allowed us a free opportunity to showcase who we are and what we can do. And so you all know, you heard my introduction, I actually graduated from the College of Applied Science and Technology as an electrical engineering technology graduate. And I worked for many years in manufacturing at Motorola, Freescale Semiconductor, on semiconductor, worked for many years in the engineering capacity. But at one point in time, I actually made a career shift, and I transitioned into career services. And so it was important for me to be able to showcase that I am now becoming an expert in a new space, in a new industry. Well, how did I do that? I used LinkedIn to help position me as an expert in my new field. I wanted people to make the connection. I wanted them to equate careers with Brenda. That's what I wanted. And so it was my job to position myself as an expert. How do you do that, Brenda? Well, I'm glad you asked. Show them that you know what you're talking about. Sharing relevant articles, post relevant, innovative ideas and thoughts and strategies and approaches. You can show them that you know what you're doing in the space you're in. Show them. It's no longer enough to say, I'm results-driven. Show them your results. What kind of results have you achieved? What are you doing that demonstrates your expertise within your field? Okay.
Brenda, we actually have a question that I wanted to get to you because it's kind of related to what you're talking about, so apologies for interrupting you, but the question is, how do you ask a colleague to endorse a particular skill of yours and write a recommendation on your LinkedIn profile? Is you're talking about showing people your skills, this might be one way to do that, and the question is, how does one go about making that happen?
Good. That's a great question, and a lot of times endorsements are, I would say, misused. Make sure that the individuals that you're asking can actually vouch for your work performance, your work product in that area. misusing and just kind of endorsing people without a whole lot of background knowledge of their abilities it's actually not going to be a good thing for you or for them. But to ask them to endorse you is just that. Make sure you ask them, but be specific. I've seen far too many people, I've received personally requests to endorse an individual, and I'm like, endorse you for what? You know, I may have worked with you in a lot of different capacities. What are you looking for from me? And so one of the very first things that I would say is to be specific about what you're asking them to endorse you for. People in general, when they are very impressed when they're impressed with something that you've done, they may take their own initiative to just go in and click those endorsement buttons on your skills within LinkedIn. And as you start to really navigate LinkedIn, you'll see what I'm talking about. But writing recommendations is a whole different ballgame. They really have to be thoroughly impressed and overwhelmed with your capacity to do a particular task that would lead them to write a recommendation for you. But the best way to get a recommendation is to ask for one. And you can ask your specific people in your network, again, only those that can and will vouch for you and your ability to perform a task, and be specific about what you're asking them. I would appreciate if you could write me a recommendation as it pertains to my project management abilities. Feel free to mention the XYZ change project that we worked on together at this company. Okay, be specific. Do not leave things to chance, or don't allow people to wonder what it is that you would like them to say. Give them the roadmap and then let them fill in the blanks. Sometimes you can even offer to write up a kind of skeleton recommendation, and they can go in and make the necessary edits. All about making it easy for the other person. But those are some very specific ways to go about getting recommendations. I hope that answered that question okay. Right, please chime back in.
Thank you, Brenda. That question came from Holly, so hopefully I thought it was a good answer. So
perfect. Thank you, Holly. And yeah, if anybody else has questions throughout, I do want this to be pretty interactive. I'll pause for questions every now and again, but if you have a question, please use the chat function, because we want to make sure that this is meaningful to you, not just another presentation. Okay. All right. Okay. Some critical elements to get started. So this is important. Yes, we're going to be talking about how to use LinkedIn in 15 minutes a day, but again, it's so important to have a solid foundation. It doesn't matter if you're using it in 15 minutes a day if your LinkedIn profile is not up to par. And so here are some critical elements that I want to make sure I put in front of you to make sure your profile is robust and it's going to get the type of attention you want it to have. And so certainly on your profile, you want to have a strong headline and a headshot photograph of yourself. Now, doesn't mean you have to go to a professional photographer, but it does mean that you're not going to take a selfie. Make sure that there's at least some other person taking a decent photograph of you, and consider taking a photograph in the environment that you want to be known for. Okay, LinkedIn is all about your future. What is next for you? What is it that you're trying to accomplish with LinkedIn? And you can write your profile towards your future. So if you're coming up on a professional transition and you're looking to move from senior manager to director level, you're going to write, your headline is going to be director level, manufacturing engineer, or et cetera. Okay, and then make sure that the photograph supports that space. If you're telling me you're the director level and your photograph is you in a T-shirt, I'm confused. Make sure your photograph really aligns with the brand and the messaging that you're trying to portray to the world. And then your summary, that can be a little bit revealing about you, but it should include some specific results that you've been able to achieve throughout your career. Make sure people know what you can do for them and how you can do it for them and what you have done for others in the past. And then again, like I said, you can share a little bit of the personal side of you if you are so inclined. I like to do it because I believe that people use LinkedIn to find common ground with you. And when you're going into an interview situation, for example, if I said I was born and raised in Buffalo, New York, and somebody reaches out to me and says, oh my gosh, I'm from Buffalo too. Well, we have instant chemistry, and it wasn't even difficult to get to that place. We just have something in common right off the bat that we can talk about, you know, what side of town did you live on, whatever have you. And so we have a built-in conversation starter. And so reveal little bits of yourself as much as you're comfortable. One of my clients put something like, he grew up watching shows like MacGyver and The Goonies and Indiana Jones. And when I saw that, I'm like, oh my gosh, those are three of my favorite things to watch. And so we instantly hit it off. And of course, the rest was history. So do consider those pieces in your summary. If you ever need a sample or a guide, I encourage you guys to feel free to go check out my profile and look at how it's built, how it's structured, and then you can use it as a framework to build your own respective summaries that really reflects who you are and what you're capable of doing. Of course, your experience, your education, and then your professional involvements, even your community involvements, those are very important as well. We like to know a little bit more about the human side of you, not just all professional bits and pieces of who you are. Okay, your LinkedIn profile is not a resume. It is an opportunity for you to present yourself in first person and give us a little bit more narrative about who you are and what you can do. Okay, we talked a little bit about the endorsements and the recommendation that kind of flows along with the skills. Use them up. You have space for 50 skills, and so don't limit yourself to 17. Go ahead and use up as many relevant skills as you possibly can. Think about different variations of the things that people may be searching for. Remember, if recruiters are searching for people with your skills, how will they know you have that skill if you don't tell them? And so look at all the different variations of skills and what is it called in different industries, and make sure that those things are kept current. And then likewise, if you speak additional languages or you have unique certifications, those are all differentiators that really help you stand out in the sea of other people who might do what you do. These are the things that make you special. And so make sure to include all of those pieces in the profile, and we'll talk more about some options there later. But let's see here. Now, what is a clear objective? Remember, when we're writing these LinkedIn profiles, you better know what you're writing it toward. What are you trying to accomplish? What is it that you want people to know about you? What career or industry or field of expertise do you want them to associate with you? Okay, who is your audience? Who are you talking to? Are you trying to reach out to recruiters? Are you trying to reach out to hiring managers and different corporations, or are you just looking to build up a network of your peers? And so that may determine the language that you use and the things that you decide to include in the profile. And so that kind of fits along with what is your game plan, right? Again, who are you trying to reach, and what is your kind of communication strategy? We'll be talking about that a little bit more as we get into the actual time usage, the 15 minutes a day. So at this point, I do want to pause and see if there are any questions that I can address before I move forward.
Brenda, yes, so some have come in, and one is definitely relevant to this particular topic of LinkedIn. So I think it's Sandra is asking, how do you write your own profile and not feel like you're bragging?
I love it because I get that one all of the time. I don't want to brag. I don't want to sound like I'm doing. Well, you know what? Telling the truth is not bragging. It's just telling the truth. And so if you kind of keep your mind focused on the fact that you are telling them the truth about you, then it is not so much bragging. You don't have to say things like, I'm awesome in every way and I'm the best thing since sliced bread when it comes to, you know, design, engineering. You don't have to use phrases like that. Use phrases that are natural for you, but do include facts that showcase your abilities. And so once you stop thinking about the content in terms of bragging and really make the shift in terms of facts, you're offering them information that they need to make a choice if they want to have a conversation with you or if you're the kind of person that I want to have in my network. And so you're just giving them the relevant facts. That's all you're doing. It's not about being braggadocious. You let other people do that for you. That's the power of the recommendation. Other people can call you awesome. You don't need to call yourself awesome. Okay, so your expertise will show through in the content that you're sharing on a regular basis, in the recommendations that you have, and in the results that you're presenting to me. So it is not about bragging. It is not about having a big head about anything, but it is about sticking to the facts. And if the facts just so happen to be awesome, well, then there you have it.
Well, there you have it.
Any other questions?
I hope that helps Sandra out. One more question, and then we're going to ask you to move on.
Okay.
This question comes from Vinay. If you are working actively at a job and you're thinking about switching in the coming months when the opportunity seems appropriate, how do you, Brenda, suggest that you build a LinkedIn profile for those particular circumstances?
So what you're referring to is more of a stealth transition. I don't want my current employer to know what's going on. One thing that you can do is make sure that you're turning off your kind of broadcast announcements. So when you do go in and update the profile, when you're changing your headline, when you're changing your summary and updating your experience and all of those things, make sure there's a switch at the bottom and it says, do you want to tell the people in your network or do you want to show this change to the people in your network? You can quickly and easily slide that over to no, and then nobody will be alerted that you've been in there changing and toiling and updating the profile. And so that's a kind of an easy way, but certainly if you're connected to a lot of current coworkers, you're going to have to be careful. You are going to have to choose between staying connected to those individuals and or pursuing something using LinkedIn as your primary vehicle. And so I more often than not will advise you to go ahead and update the profile, turn those privacy settings on. You can to some extent control who sees your content. But again, that may backfire because if you're setting it to such a high privacy level, then the very recruiters who are looking for you and that you're hoping to, connect with, they can't see you either. So does it really help? And maybe LinkedIn does not become your primary vehicle. Maybe you use other avenues like going directly to recruiters, and things of that nature. Just make sure that your profile in general reflects your capabilities in the new space. And there's nothing wrong with updating your profile. It doesn't necessarily mean I'm looking for a new job. And so if the questions do come in, then one thing that you can say, refer back to the other points, the other reasons for being on LinkedIn. If your boss has something to say about you updating your profile, you kindly let him or her know that, hey, LinkedIn is more than just a job search tool. I use LinkedIn regularly just to, kind of get some ideas from other folks in the industry, and so I can, leverage their expertise to solve problems that we're facing on a daily basis. So you can deflect some of those things that may come your way and still have an active profile that represents who you are looking to be in the future. Okay, so I hope that helps. There is generally not a very easy answer for those, but there are some choices that you can make and some ways that you can defend your status updating. Okay. All righty.
Thanks, Brenda.
Great questions. All right, and so I wanted to start jumping into the 15-minute formula. This is, again, part of why I decided to do LinkedIn in 15 minutes per day is because so many folks thought that they had to just be on LinkedIn all day, be on Facebook all day, be on social media all day, or they didn't think that, but they ended up doing that. They ended up consuming the majority of their day on social media. They just got sucked in, and maybe it was because they didn't have a game plan. They didn't have a strategy. And so I vow to be the practical voice of reason. I want to give you an official game plan that you can execute to, and help you kind of really stay on track for your career, but also keep your day productive on the other work that you need to do. And so part one of the 15-minute strategy is 4 minutes on your home page. And you can get to the home page now. LinkedIn changes their interface quite a lot. So get used to it. But right now you can click on it. It's all the way to the far left, and it just says LinkedIn and it says home. It's to the left of your search bar. If you're listening to this recording a year from now, it'll probably be very different, so just brace yourself. It's okay. But on the home page, this is a brilliant opportunity to see what's going on. And when you're connected to all the right people, when you're connected to other people in your profession, you're likely being exposed to new ideas, new concepts, new innovations, and it's really exciting. There's something new to learn pretty much every day. And so you can take a few minutes and first and foremost, just kind of scroll through your feed on the home page and see what's going on in the world, especially in the world of your industry. It's very good to know when changes are coming to the industry, what other people are talking about, what seems to be emerging as a really critical topic. And so some of these things, they're very, very important. And so it's a great way to just kind of stay in touch and know what's going on and be in the know. This is your water cooler scenario. Okay, so just check it out, see what's going on, but while you're there, when something is relevant to you, when something is relevant to your profession, take the time to comment on it, to like it, to share it with the other people in your network. This accomplishes a couple of things. It keeps you engaged with the individual who's sharing it, but it helps the rest of your network remember, oh yeah, she really is a thought leader in this space. Look at how she's thinking about the future. Look at how she's always commenting on these next level new generation ideas. And so your homepage can be a very powerful weapon in your arsenal. And so I recommend that you do spend time liking, commenting, sharing, and certainly scrolling through to keep abreast of what's going on in your industry and what's going on with the other people that you've invited into your network. Any commenting, make sure that it is substantial. Make sure it is substantive. Make sure that you're not saying things like, I agree, I disagree, great point. Those are very generic, stale phrases that don't actually say a whole lot about you and your level of expertise. But if you remember that LinkedIn is a platform for you to position yourself as an expert, then you'll remember to provide substantial commentary. And so if there's a great article and something in it resonated with you, make sure you talk about that thing or add a new dimension to the conversation or add a new option in terms of a solution, okay? And so these are all things that you can accomplish just spending a few minutes on the home page. Okay. And then the next piece is searching and inviting. And this is so critical. I am very glad that you all are here today because there are so many people that I believe are doing this incorrectly. We are inviting people to be a part of our network, and we are relying almost entirely on the default message that goes out through LinkedIn. That default message says, I'd like to add you to my professional network on LinkedIn. And you hit send, and the rest is history. And I really strongly encourage each and every one of you to make a change in your approach and use the customized invitation strategy whenever you are reaching out to a new person to add to your network. It is so important that you tell people why you're looking to connect and who you are, maybe reminding them of who you are. Think about somebody that you haven't, maybe you haven't spoken with them in a few years. Well, they may or may not remember who you are. Maybe you met them at a conference 2 years ago and you were very impressed with something that they said. Let them know that. Or if you don't have any history with them and they're a random stranger, give them a reason to connect with you. It's not okay to simply, I'd like to add you to my professional network. It is highly appropriate, though, to say I came across your profile in my research of the, semiconductor industry, and I was very impressed with your skills and credentials. I'd love to connect, right? Or I see that you're acquainted with Cindy over at RIT, and I think she's awesome, and so I'd love to have you in my circle as well. Give people a reason to connect with you, okay? And this is very, very important. Now, let me give you some insider information that a lot of the rest of the world does not know. When you are inside of LinkedIn, and it'll come up on your screen, people you may know. Right next to their picture or just below their picture, there's a blue button that says Connect. If you click that button, it will automatically send them the default message, I'd like to add you to my professional network on LinkedIn. However, if you click on the person's name, it will take you directly to their profile. And within their profile, you can then select Connect, and it will give you the option to add a custom note. That is the space that we are referring to when I say customize it and make sure you're giving them a reason to connect with you. Okay, and so this is really key, and a lot of people miss it. And when you're using LinkedIn on your mobile device, sometimes the interface is a little bit different. And so it is okay to, again, click on their name, go into their profile, and on the mobile device there will be 3 little vertical dots, and you're going to select that area, and within there it will give you the option to add a customized invitation. Okay. And so make sure that we are doing things differently. As a result of being in this webinar, make sure now that you know better, it is up to you to do better. All right, but who do I invite? How do I search? What's going on? And so take the time. When you target companies that you know you want to be associated with, now you can target the people within those companies. Look at other people who do what you do within the companies that you're trying to maybe make some headway with. Look at the recruiters who are focused on recruiting professionals in your industry. And so these are the specific types of people that you want to look for. And so you can leverage the search bar, and then, or you can click on the magnifying glass just to the right of the search bar, and it will open up some advanced search options. And now you can search for people based on keywords like recruiter plus manufacturing, recruiter plus manufacturing plus Buffalo. And you can do those types of things within the advanced search function. And so you can look for all of the people who work at the company, I don't know, Carestream Health. You can find the individuals that you need to find using the search function, but this is the key. You have to know who you want to find. Who do you want to connect to? Is your strategy right now just being connected to other people who do what I do, or are you in a job seeker mode and you want to connect with recruiters? Now, I will encourage you all, again, this is kind of a layoff-ready world, to connect with recruiters now, connect with the HR community now before you need them. And so now you have plenty of time to establish rapport and really build strong relationships with people before you ever need them. This is important. And so I want to pause and ask and give you the opportunity for questions, because this is very important. If you get this part right, a lot of everything else you do, you'll be talking to all of the right people and positioning yourself as an expert in front of the right audience. So any questions here before I move on?
Brenda, there are some questions, but they're not specific to searching and inviting. So I'll ask you, do you want a couple now, or you want to wait?
Go ahead. Bring them on.
All right. So there have been a few people asking kind of the same question, just in different ways, and it's a two-parter. So how much of your, it goes back to the profile, how much of your profile should be public, and then also, should you make your profile different from your resume, and if so, how? And then I guess an adjunct to that would be, should you just post your resume on LinkedIn?
Good, okay.
Got all that?
Yeah, I got it all.
Okay.
Public profiles, I honestly say yes. For the majority of us, our full profiles should be made public. If there's something so secretive, just don't post it. Don't put it on the internet if you don't want the whole world to know it. And so go ahead and make it public. That's kind of the point, is for people to be able to see who you are, what you're capable of doing, all of those things. So do please proceed with making your full profile public. The only exception there is the young lady who talked about the stealth job search, right? I don't necessarily want my employer to know, so there are some deviations there that those types of individuals are going to address. But for the rest of us, we've got nothing to hide. We're just business as usual. The whole thing should be public. And so when you're in your own profile and you go to edit public profile settings, you can just make sure everything is checked. All your experience, education, everything should be visible to the public, especially your photo. People generally do not connect with people that do not have a photo. There's a level of inherent trust that is automatically built in when there is a photo. Not to mention, if there are a dozen people with your same name, I'd like to know that I'm connecting with you and not one of them. So the photo is extremely crucial, but honestly, so is every other dimension of the profile. So make the whole thing public. Should it be different from the resume? Can it be different from the resume? Yes, 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 it should. It must be different from the resume. This is a perfect opportunity for you to tell more of the story that your resume maybe couldn't cover. Your resume is still technically, it's a business document. It's a technical document, and its job is to kind of really stick to the facts and really give a a business type overview of who you are and what you can do. But again, remember, LinkedIn gives you the opportunity to be a little bit more of a human being, and it reveals more of who you are as a person, maybe what your story is, what some of your likes or dislikes. Remember the person who talked about Indiana Jones and the Goonies? Well, that was very personal. It was completely irrelevant to his career, but it was something that helped him to connect with people on a human level. So it is good and expected for your LinkedIn profile to look different than your resume, especially the summary. I guess you think about how many times recruiters see the same type of summary. I just wrote an article on this, I think yesterday. Check it out in my profile, but it talks about that same, hey, I'm skilled with operations and leadership and something, and I'm seeking great opportunity. That is so generic, and nobody can do anything with that information. But if you're specific, if you tell me I'm, an operations leader within the manufacturing space, owning P&L of, 3 million plus, now I have a better idea of who you are and what you're capable of doing, and you can tell me that in more of a story format in the first person, just in case y'all didn't catch that the first time I said it. Write your LinkedIn profile in the first person. Okay, it should not be Cindy brings this great quality to the RIT Alumni Association. It should be I, Cindy, bring XYZ to the RIT Alumni Association. Okay, and so thanks for allowing me to use you, Cindy, on that. So yes, it should be different. Now, there's going to be some overlap. Some of your experience is going to come over from the resume, but do your best to kind of reword, rephrase, and or add some additional dimension about you, maybe why you chose this particular job, or why you went in this direction, or why you changed companies, that sort of thing. You can offer some additional insights. And it is totally okay to also include the PDF of your resume, but it is not absolutely required. I like to leave the resume off of the profile because it gives recruiters a reason to follow up with you, and it opens the door for an interaction there with the people that actually want to see your resume. Okay, and so I think that answers both of those other two questions that came in. Those were great questions. Keep them coming. I want to make sure this
Brenda,
is very meaningful. Yes.
Very quickly, we have two questions specific to the invitation, which is the slide you have up right now. So, and I'm going to try to paraphrase them. Mary Ellen is asking about, she feels uncomfortable kind of quote-unquote cold calling total strangers to connect on LinkedIn. So she's looking for some tips around that. But then Susan is asking, related to that, what do you do when you get those kind of cold call invitations asking you to connect? So it's kind of the flip side of the same question. Doing the cold calling, accepting the cold calling.
I love it. And you know what I call it? I call it stranger danger because it is the same thing that it was ingrained in us since we were children, right? Don't talk to strangers, that sort of thing. And so that's just what I end up calling it. You guys, you have a handout that should have been sent to you. On that handout are some conversation starters with, reaching out to strangers, and some thoughts around how do I connect with a stranger. And so I want to make sure that you know that those resources are there for you on the handout. So don't discount the handout that came along with your registration link. But the discomfort around cold calling is a slightly different issue. And I don't want you to be uncomfortable with it, because the whole premise of LinkedIn is connecting with people that you otherwise would not have access to. And it is okay. Again, this is a professional networking site. This is very different from Facebook. On Facebook, I would absolutely advise you not to connect with strangers. There will be a high level of discomfort and distrust there. I would not want to share photographs of my kid's first day of school with somebody that I have never met and I've never had a conversation with. But if there's some other, let's say, photographer who just wants to be connected with me, certainly there is no harm in it. And so it's okay. I expect to some extent that people are connecting with you because you do what they do or somehow you have intrigued them. It is okay, but just remember to give them a reason why. As long as you give them a substantial reason why, you know, I met you at a conference, or I was very intrigued with your profile and I'd love to follow your, you know, glean from your expertise. Flattery goes a long way, and it is okay to connect with strangers as long as you're giving them some backstory. So hopefully that helps a little bit. But when you do get the invite from the stranger, make sure that you are going in, never just blindly accept an invitation. There is no rule that says you have to. And so whenever you get an invitation, I don't care who it comes from, stranger or otherwise, make sure you go in and actually look at their profile. Make sure they're not full of typographical errors, and make sure that they have a photo. Make sure their profile makes sense. Make sure they're not somebody trying to, you know, scam or date you or sell their goods. It's okay to be selective in who you invite into your network. It is totally okay, and I totally expect that level of scrutiny on the people that you allow in. So it is all right, but you do not have to accept every single one that comes. Just hit the X, and it'll say, I do not know this person. If they want to try again with a custom invite, that is their option. Okay, so hopefully that helps. There's no like easy way. I mean, if you're really that uncomfortable, you might just need a hand to hold or some scripts to follow. But it is okay, and it is expected that people are going to be connecting with strangers, and it is all right. As long as you're adding value to the conversation, I want to connect with you, right? So keep that in mind. All right. This next one here, I have a very quick story, and I know we're running low on time, so I'll make it very brief. Say hello. So often, I said earlier, you know, you never know when you'll need people, so it's good to stay connected now. And I always tell the story of a cousin that I have. I have this cousin, and I love her. But every time she calls me, she needs money. And I caught wind of that several years ago, and I'm like, you only call me when you need money. You don't ever call me to just say hey. You don't ever call me to just check in, see how I'm doing. You only call me when you're behind on your bills or whatever have you. And I would encourage, and you know what happened, fast forward a few years, I stopped taking her calls. And I know that's terrible, but I don't talk to her very often. It's because I know she will only reach out to me when she needs something from me. And so I encourage you not to be like my cousin. Say hi to people. Check in with people. Even if it's been a few years, don't wait until you need someone to say, hey, how are things? I just lost my job. Can you hook me up with an interview over at your company? That's the wrong time. That's absolutely the wrong time to do it, versus just staying top of mind in their world, shooting them a congratulations when you see they celebrated a work anniversary or something like that. Do take the time to just stay connected with people. Do the keep in touch that you said you were going to do. Actually be part of the solution. Okay, now let me move quickly to this next one. This is important as well. So the final 5 minutes of the LinkedIn strategy in 15 minutes a day is groups, using the groups on LinkedIn. And groups are other people who are in similar, maybe professions or have similar interests. And groups are perfect opportunities for you to ask questions of the other experts who do what you do. And so this is where when you get stuck with a new challenge or a new problem, you can pose a question within a group and seek out answers and possible solutions or approaches from other people who may have been there and done that. And so it's a great way to demonstrate your skill because you can be the one to provide answers. But it's also a great career management tool because you can get support and wisdom from other experts to help you deal with challenges that you may be facing in your career and on your job. So this is a very, very important one. Okay, so don't ever underestimate the power of groups. Okay. And so
you know what? I'm going to just do
ahead.
a quick plug. Make sure everybody out there joins the LinkedIn group for alumni of RIT.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect plug. And so make sure, and then that's a great way to stay informed of other relevant webinars that may be going on as well, so that when there's a subject matter that's of interest to you, you know all about it and you didn't have to, you know, wait for the email. You can just be in the know. But so just kind of to wrap up here, when you're on LinkedIn, you can physically set a timer for 15 minutes and follow the 15-minute formula so that you are not on there, you know, much longer than you had planned on. Remember the stranger danger. Remember what we talked about. So remember the importance of telling people why you're looking to connect and staying in touch with individuals. Don't treat LinkedIn like Facebook because it's not Facebook. Please don't post pictures of your lunch or things of that personal nature. This is a professional site intended to showcase your professional expertise. I would say, very importantly, is be consistent. When I say 15 minutes a day, the expectation is that you are there 15 minutes a day every Monday through Friday. I want you to be there on a regular basis so that people really begin to know who you are. If you show up sporadically after a few months and then 6 months there and a couple of months here or a few weeks there, we won't remember you. You won't stay top of mind, and it will be all for nothing. And then don't stop with LinkedIn. It is okay to pick up the phone and take your networking endeavors a little bit further. Okay. And then finally, this is who I am and how I like to do things. I'd like to offer you all a bonus today. You all heard about the book, Crush the Pink Slip, Get Back to Work in 60 Days. Well, if you are in a professional transition, you've been laid off from a job, I do encourage you to check out this resource. It's a great resource for folks in transition. And for those of you who are able to give me the code word, which is the first word on page 159, send it to this email address. You'll actually receive a free 30-minute resume assessment. That's a $75 value. You'll get it for nothing. And so check it out. The book is available on Amazon. And then otherwise, the content that I talked about today, how to use LinkedIn in 15 minutes per day, is available as an ebook free resource at pushcareermanagement.com/resources. So you can check that out and receive that information. And so I do hope to hear from some of you on that soon. And then, of course, stay connected with me. I'm on LinkedIn, Brenda M. Cunningham. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and, of course, the website, pushcareermanagement.com. I'd love to, you know, set up some consultations with anybody who needs some help and or just support you in your networking endeavors. When you reach out and connect with me, let me know how I can help you. And I will be happy to do just that for my fellow alums. All right, I think we're right at time, and so I'll turn it over to Cindy.
We are out of time. Brenda, there are so many additional questions that we did not have time to get to, and I apologize to all our alumni out there, but we have all the questions, and we've cataloged them, and I'm going to send them out to Brenda, and I'm going to ask her to provide me with some answers, and I'm going to get those all back out to each and every one of you. So look for, is that okay, Brenda? Putting you on the spot a little bit.
That's perfectly fine, absolutely.
All right. Well, that's literally all the time we have. We're now 1 minute past the top of the hour, so I want to thank Brenda. This was most informative. If you all have any further questions, please email them to ritalum@rit.edu, or you've got Brenda's email. So you can also send them direct. You could tweet them to MERIT webinars. But with that, I'm going to say thanks again to Brenda. Thanks to all of you. Our next webinar is next week. If you're working for a nonprofit, make sure you tune in. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great Wednesday.